What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to talk about oil and lubrication, starting with premixing. So premixing is when you add 2-cycle oil to the gas, which allows your apex seals to be lubricated, making the engine last longer. It's one of the best things you can do for these rotary engines. It's one of the most misunderstood things to do, because most people buy a vehicle, they just drive it. They don't know what to do as far as maintaining a specialized engine, which the rotary is. So today we're going to talk about premixing and some of the things that I'm going to do, which might differ from what you're going to do. The product I might use might be different than what you want to use. But I'm going to explain to you why I'm using what I'm using, and then we'll also talk about regular oil, because that kind of falls right into that same category. And also, one of the things I wanted to point out is one of the last videos I installed the agency power dual resonator mid pipe, and that removed the cats. Very important if you're going to do a premix that you take your stock cats off and use a high flow or catless system, because you will clog up the cats and cause even more issues, and your car is going to actually run even worse. So go ahead and make sure you do that first, and if you can't do that in your state, unfortunately you're going to have to skip premixing and just keep an eye on your engine. So let's go ahead and talk about premixing first. I'm going to show you my setup, what I'm doing. I like Lucas products, so I did a lot of research and found this Lucas 2-cycle oil. You'll hear a lot of people argue what's the best. I think it's called like Idemitsu, which is specifically designed. That probably is going to be the best one to get because it's specifically designed for the Rx8. I'll put a link to that. But I like Lucas products, and I found that there was quite a few people on the Rx8 forums having good performance with that. And I've had great luck with Lucas in the past, so I wanted to stick with that. And I'm going to put a link to this. This runs about 30 bucks for the gallon, so not that expensive. When you break it down, you will get better fuel mileage while premixing too, so it does actually equal itself out. And then, this is kind of cool because there's a lot of kits out there, and I didn't really prefer to buy a kit. I wanted to kind of create my own. So Harbor Freight is one of my favorite places to shop at. It's very inexpensive. They have some cool products. So I went ahead and picked up these 8-ounce storage bottles. They have a little cool twist cap that goes on top of them. They come in packs of 3, and they were 2 packs for $3. So very inexpensive, and they have these cool little measuring guides on the side here. And I'm going to explain to you, I have 4 ounces in 2 of these, and you can see 6 ounces in 1. And that is due to the fact that what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna maybe adjust that as I go, but I'm gonna be putting 4 ounces in my regular driving. I do drive pretty aggressively since this is just a weekend car, but for those times that I know I'm gonna be driving extremely aggressive, just around the area, I'm gonna go a little higher with 6 ounces. Some people say go up to 8 when you're tracking the car, which I'll look into that if I do go to a track and track the car, because you are running very high for a very long period of time, so you do want to make sure there's lots of lubrication. And what's cool about this is I was able to find the ammo box at Harbor Freight, which is item number 63135. It's kind of a cool little thing. Very inexpensive. For less than 10 bucks, I got all of these. These bottles fit perfectly in here, and I believe I'm going to be able to fit 4, maybe 5, depending on how I squeeze it in there. But it's kind of cool. The tops of those will touch the top of the ammo box, so they will stay in place. And you're able to snap this down, and you have a nice little carrying case to carry around. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to actually make probably a little custom spot for this in the trunk. They have a cool little strap that comes with the car, but I wasn't able to fit my backup oil as well as this. But we'll see. I'm going to kind of customize something. That'll be another video where I do that. But I wanted to show you the oil that I use. You guys might know from past video that the gentleman who installed the engine actually put a little too much oil in there. And I think he did that because I was getting a leak in the oil cooler hose, which, coolest thing in the world, it actually went away, and I'm not having any leak right now. Of course, I'm going to keep an eye on that, and I am going to be upgrading those lines, and we'll do a video on that as well. But this is your standard motor oil, and this is, if you do not have a Zone adapter, I'll quickly explain what a Zone adapter is. You have to use standard oil. Do not use synthetic or synthetic blends. You'll see people that say that it's okay, but it is not. You will burn your apex seals out faster, and the reason why is the rotary engine does inject oil from your standard, where you fill the oil, your standard oil into the motor, and sometimes it ends up in your air filter as well, but that's usually if you overfill. And so you want to make sure you're using standard oil so that you do not foul up any of the plugs, as well as wear out the apex seals faster. 5W30 is what's recommended from the factory. Lots and lots of people will argue different ways. Hotter temperatures, colder temperatures. I wanted to stick with what the factory called for. This is what Velocity put in, which is just an STP oil. It's a standard oil. But as far as brands go, do your research. Find out what you like, what works for you. I'll probably be changing this up and doing my own oil change. I just had it up there and wanted to get the overfill taken care of, and they did a great job. They filled it up perfectly, and also since they use a very little bit of oil, they gave me this for the price of the oil change, so I have a backup. Basically this is almost half full here, about 2.5 quarts left. So that's kind of that. So do whatever you guys want for regular oil, just make sure you don't use synthetic. A sewn adapter actually goes in the vehicle and bypasses that injector so that you can fill your own oil into the sewn adapter separately, so that it will inject clean oil into the engine, and then you can run synthetic since it won't be pulling from your standard oil to inject it. That's a quick breakdown on the sewn adapter. So yeah, first make sure you get the decat system if you're going to be premixing. Premixing is going to lubricate your apex seals and make them last longer. A lot of people are getting twice the life out of their vehicle by lubricating it with premixing and adding 2-cycle oil. That gets added directly into your gas tank for those of you that are unaware of it and haven't done the research. And the cool thing about these bottles is, and I've already done 1 cycle, is you're able to put that right into your gas tank with this cap off obviously and squirt it right in, and it takes less than 5 minutes to get that in, and then you can fill your car up. So I feel like this kit's an awesome kit. It's something you can probably pick up locally. If not, I'm going to link it to Harbor Freight's website, these little parts here, and you can order right online, and most of their stuff ships for free. So one last thing too is a funnel, not a filter, a funnel, so that you can fill these. Try to find one small enough. This one here I got probably just locally at the auto parts store or Walmart, and but just find one that's small enough to fit right into the top there. You can usually just run down and pick one up, and I could probably link this one here since I've got the item number and I'm showing you guys right now, but I'm not exactly sure where I got that from. And then always have a rag too. So that's kind of it. That's a quick breakdown on premix, oil, and what you guys are gonna need. Carry these around with you when you're driving. Obviously you can leave behind the larger 2-cycle oil since you'll have your little case, but this is what you wanna bring with you. Strap it into your trunk, and if you ever, always check your oil levels too, and if you ever need to add any, go ahead and add some. Once again, I'm Peter. Hopefully this helps you guys out. A quick educational lesson on premixing and oil. Have a great day. We are going to be doing a sewn adapter as well as a catch can, and I'll explain to you what that is later on down the road in videos. Once again, subscribe, like, share. Lots of videos coming. Have a great day, guys.